Hello out there, friends. Welcome back. So, yes, on the bike again, back on the road, just for a quick one, I think. A couple things. So, I've been seeing since, well, going on 2 weeks ago from Bob Joyce's dinner show and concert in Cullman, Alabama. As we expected, quite, sorry, quite the resounding, um, my dog, I wish I would have got that on camera. She just tripped over her own foot, which isn't out of the ordinary for old Cassie here. But sorry, Cassie. But at least we didn't get it on video. Not that she would mind if I showed you. But anyhow, the responses of the live show with Bob Joyce have been off the charts as expected. Of course, I've seen a lot of the comments on this channel and other places. I have Facebook friends with quite a few people who are in Pastor Bob's inner circle, you might say. And yeah, they were just all talking about how great the night was, how they laughed, they cried, they worshiped, and of course loved every minute of the music from Pastor Bob. What some of you will also notice if you're paying attention to the new official Bob Joyce music pages is he is actually doing some in-person, on-camera videos kind of stuff, like just sort of unedited little quick things. Like most of you already seen. Geez, I'm down to the wire, right? You saw that video. You saw some of the other little clips that they did in the morning when he was just waking up. So that appears to be kind of like the new thing that his production company with social media is doing on a regular basis. I can't remember the date as of right now, but it's like November 20th or something like that. Somebody correct me, when his Christmas album releases, as in they'll be going in the mail. So maybe, hopefully, a lot of you will have it in time for Thanksgiving. And you'll, like me, be listening to it and enjoying, which now that we know the timing, it does make perfect sense, right? Because most people tend to officially start their Christmas seasons after Thanksgiving. So it was obviously timed for that. And that makes sense. Let me look at your comments here. Hi, Cynthia. Maureen. Maybe somebody in the comment section will help out. Hi, Sheila. But the short answer is Pastor Bob is still married to Elena, and they are very happy together. I'm to go into any past anything, but some other dogs. Okay, some little doggies I had to dodge. So where was I? Hello, Elaine. Welcome, everybody. So I'm trying to make these lives shorter, partly for the reason that I've had a lot of issues with the signal outside, more than I used to, which doesn't make any sense because I have a newer phone now. But that's how it goes. Okay, so back to Pastor Bob and the live. So we were all expecting a great turnout, great show, but we really didn't know what was going to come after the concert, right? What changes there were going to be. And now we see this new change, which is pretty big, and big for, can I just say, an older person to essentially hire a production company, and without going into the details of how that collaboration is working exactly, starting with a new production media company, essentially, who is helping promote his albums and his music. Now, let's keep in mind, Household of Faith Church and Pastor Bob, they have their church ministry, right? And so if you look on the website, bobjoyce.org, like if you wanted to make a donation by mail, what you will find is their P.O. Box address and a paragraph or two that says all of the money, 100% of the money, goes to maintenance of the church and basically normal bills kind of stuff. I forget the exact wording, but I think maintenance was one of the things that mentioned. And it also states that Pastor Bob does not take a salary. He doesn't get paid. And so I was talking to you guys last week about connecting dots and looking at the big picture. Sometimes I'm just going to drop things and let you run with it, do with it what you will. But my point is, there are those that say, oh, Bob Joyce is cashing in now with the music, and people think he's Elvis, so he's just eating it up, blah, blah, blah. Well, Pastor Bob is not taking a salary at Household of Faith Church, zero. So there's zero money right there. And then it costs money to have a production company and do studio albums that are professional in Nashville or wherever it is. That all costs money. And then this recent dinner show costs a lot of money to put on too. And people are talking about, oh, the ticket prices are so high. But from what I see, they're pretty much just breaking even, right? It's not like a cash cow that we're talking about. So I'm just dropping that all on you guys to take and run with, because you're going to hear plenty, well, maybe not plenty, you're going to hear a small number of people on the internet that are going to try to make you think the opposite, and that it's all just a big sneaky operation and blah, blah, blah. And we've heard it all before, right? But those people can never produce any receipts, any evidence. So that's one of the ways that this channel has been there to be the voice of reason and the voice of what's really obvious, not for anyone who's looking anyway. Pause on that note. Marina, I don't know who Milena is. I don't know if I forgot that or if you spelled it wrong. But his wife right now, and who has been, is Welena. Okay, where was I? Michael, hello. He wants it all to go to charities. Yeah. Hi, April. I wish I could meet you too. All of you. Sheila, you're welcome. Hi, Nancy and Terry. Yeah, right, Michael. That's basically, I know Bob has talked about the mindset before with the not getting paid or not making money off of his gift, which, by the way, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm a musical artist and producer, not as well known as our favorite pastor, Bob Joyce. However, that is my business, or at least part of it. And there's nothing wrong with making money off of your work, off of your labor. That is biblical. As long as you have fair and good business practices, there's nothing wrong with it. But that's how Pastor Bob feels about it. But it's just, I think it's good to point that out, because even if Pastor Bob was making some money off of his music, hello, he's spent years perfecting his craft. He spent hours writing, recording, rehearsing, getting it produced, paying people to mix it, master it, produce it, make albums, make CDs. So I hope you guys realize all that takes a lot of time and money. Like the new video that came out today, right? Every new video. But let's just use the music video as an example. It takes a lot of time, effort, experience to create those things, right? So it's just kind of like for the negative voices out there, like not only do they have no receipts, but even their sort of whole concept about it is wrong in the first place. So I'm not sure why I went on that tangent, but okay, I see where you're going, Marina. So on that note, I forget what else I was going to talk about. Sometimes I need you guys for topics, but What else? What else? Oh, well, I wanted to let you guys know I just got the new George Magazine 2026 calendar in the mail today that I've been waiting for. And it is very interesting, I must say. It's kind of what I expected and kind of not at the same time. And there are definitely some things in the pictures that I'm going to be researching on. There were some things that jumped out at me right away, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's cool. One little hint, sort of preview that I'll give you about the George Magazine calendar of 2026 is that there's some very, very positive things in there. And I know I'm not the only one who has mentioned the theory possibility about 2026 being quite the year for the US. And it's just noteworthy to re-mention that July 4th of 26 is our 250th anniversary. Interesting. But like I was saying, the calendar has some very positive looking things for our country. But I will research some things more, and I plan on talking about it. I think because you have to buy the calendar, and pretty much the most interesting thing about the calendar, obviously, is the pictures. I'm not planning on showing them to you guys because that kind of defeats the purpose of it being a collector's item to some extent, especially since it's not even the year yet. But I can talk about it. And for anything that Gene Ho or Dave Blaze shares about the calendar, I can elaborate on further. So maybe for some of the videos, instead of just covering an article from George Magazine, there'll probably be times that I will talk about a specific month or two from the George Magazine calendar. And while I'm thinking about it, there should be a link in this description and all the newer videos that if you want to get a George Magazine subscription or check out their shop, which they got a lot of cool merch, stuff that I like. I've gotten a few shirts, but I'm probably going to get more. That link is in the video description. You can get 10% off using my custom link. And so you might want to check out what they have. Like they got pages and pages of merch, lots of stuff. Drink stuff, bags, all kinds of different shirts, and more that I'm forgetting about. But I'm going to wrap it up there. But it was nice to see you all. Stay posted for more music videos for sure, because as I mentioned in the video yesterday about there's some people that don't really like this channel and a lot of the videos. I got to be wise about how I go about things. And one of those wise decisions will be to do more music videos, like original stuff, but also things that you will all enjoy. So if you haven't watched the new video from today, check that out. And yeah, I'll wrap it up there. So thank you all for watching and supporting as always. I appreciate you. Thanks and God bless. Ready, Cassie? Bye-bye.